નમસ્કાર, હું આદર્શ છું. વેલકમ ટુ આદર્શ એજ્યુકેશન સોસાયટી. સ્ટેન્ડર્ડ 10th, સબ્જેક્ટ સાયન્સ, chapter 12, electricity. Dear students, the last video we have discussed Ohm's law and as well as resistance also. Now this video, today we discuss factors on which the resistance of a conductor depends. See, what factors in which conductor depends on the resistance, or see what factors in which conductor resistance depends. So we'll see that what factors are responsible for this, for the resistance. See, the resistance, for example, if you have taken the conducting wire, suppose if you have taken the conducting wire, see, if the conducting wire is the resistance will be varied, it will be not fixed. Okay, so that is why. So it will be that, see, if the resistance depends upon this conducting wire also. Okay, now we will see that. See, it may be of length. Suppose length is changed, this resistivity changing, and thickness is changed. Thickness means cross section, like this. Cross section is changed, then the resistivity changing. Or materials will be, suppose if you are using different materials, then also resistivity varies. Okay, dear students, here one activity is given here. See, electric circuit, to study the factors on which the resistance of conducting wires. See here, this one is an ammeter is used here to measure the current flow, and here T will be there, and this is the electric wire, the wires. Now here, see 1, 2, 3, 4 is given here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here different, see look here now, the first one, here 2 key will be there. Here we are using what will be there, different things will be used here. For example, here nichrome wire will be used in the first one. Then in the second, the same wire length will be increased, doubled. And in third, here thickness of this will be used. And here the different materials will be used. Okay. So like this way, this you have to see that. So what? See, first one what they have used here, nichrome wire connected here, and then you have to take the reading. Okay, current flow you have to measure. Ammeter reading will be there. From the ammeter you have to take out the reading. And second, length is double, then you have to go for again taking the reading. And then thickness is increased, and then you have to go for here what? Reading you have to take. And next one is material is changed. So like this way, you have to check up the current flow with the help of the ammeter. So then the question arises, what observation you are going to get? The correct question is here, does the current depend on the length of the conductor, is asking the question here. Or, and also one more question, does the current depend on the area of the cross section of the wire used? So like these questions are asked, dear students. Now, after the observation, it is observed that the ammeter reading will be decreases to 1/2 when the length of the wire is doubled. See, when the length of the wire, suppose it is the L, and if it is increased to L, so then what happens? Then it will be resistance is increases, and current flow will be decreases. So suppose here current A will be there, and here will be current becomes half of this. Okay, so it becomes half of. Okay, like this way. So will be noticed here. So current flow will becomes decreased, and so because here A divided by 2, okay, current will becomes half here. So now, okay, next one. The ammeter reading is increased when the thicker wire of the same material and of the same length is used. See, dear students, the ammeter reading is increased when the thicker wire. See, if the thicker wire is used, if the cross section will be more, the cross section will be thicker wire is used, then you know that resistance will be less and the current flow will be more. So thicker wire, same material of the same length is used in the circuit. Third one, a change in the ammeter reading is observed when wire of different materials of the same length and the same area of the cross section. Same area of the cross section. For example, you see here nichrome is used here, or copper, or silver. So like this way. See, when the nichrome is used and resistance will be more and copper will be less and silver also less. So like this way, when the resistance will be more is there, current flowing will be less. When the copper is resistance is less, then there will be current flow will be more. So like this way, we will come to know that. So you observe that the resistance of the conductor depends on, see, the resistance of the conductor depends on its length and on its area of the cross section and on the nature of the materials. See, like this way, it depends upon these three. If the length and as well as cross section and nature of the material. Okay. So now, next one is the resistance of the uniform metallic conductor is, the resistance of the uniform metallic conductor is directly proportional to the length. So try to understand, dear students. The resistance of the uniform metallic conductor is directly proportional to the length. See, if the length is here increased 2 AL, then the resistivity is also increases. If it is 3 AL, length will be increased 3, then the resistance will be increases. Okay, and inversely proportional to the area of the cross section. See, resistivity is inversely proportional to the area of the cross section. A means area of the cross section. If the area of the cross section will be doubled, then the resistor becomes half. Okay, then combining these two, it becomes like this: R directly proportional to L upon A. Or then you are here, proportionality sign will be removed here. So that is why R is equal to this one, rho ho, you are saying this is constant. Constant is used here, L upon A. Okay, in this way, the equation becomes like this. See, what is rho ho? See, RHO. That is like writing like this. It's a constant proportionality and it's called the electrical resistivity. See, rho ho is a constant of proportionality and is called the electrical resistivity of the materials of the conductor. See, the conductor material, that resistivity is called as rho ho. The SI unit of rho ho is, see here, ohm meter. See, remember, dear students, this all. The SI unit of resistivity is what? Ohm meter. Okay. It is the characteristic resistivity of the materials. See, the electrical resistivity, materials, the electrical resistivity is the characteristic property of the material, electrical resistivity. The metals and alloys have very low resistivity. See, try to understand here, dear students, the metals and alloys have very low resistivity. You know that whenever the low resistivity will be there, then current flowing will be more. Okay, try to understand now. Whenever low resistivity, see, low resistivity will be there, current flowing will be more. So here the metals and alloys are very low resistivity in the range of 10 raised to negative 8 ohm to 10 raised to negative 6 ohm. So they are the good conductors of electricity. Okay, insulators like rubber and glass have the resistivity of the order of here more will be there, 10 raised to 12 and 10 raised to 17, what you are saying, ohm meter. So then the resistivity more will be there, so that behaves like insulator. So this will be insulator. Okay, or bad conductors we are saying. Okay, so both the resistance and resistivity of the material vary with the temperature, differ with the temperature. Vary means different with the temperature, shows different. Now, the resistivity of an alloy is generally higher than that of its constituent metals. See, try to understand here, students. The resistivity of an alloy is generally higher than that of its constituent metals. You know that, for example, here given Constantan, CONSTANTM, Constantan is an alloy of copper and nickel. So this you have to remember, dear students. And manganese is an alloy of copper, manganese and nickel. And nichrome is an alloy of chromium, manganese and iron. Alloy of nickel, chromium, manganese and iron. See, this one, the resistivity is more. But its constituent elements like silver, copper, aluminum, here, that resistivity is less. So, alloys do not oxidize. Alloys do not oxidize means they do not burn readily at the high temperatures. So that is why, for this reason, they are commonly used in the electric heating devices, electric heating instruments like electric iron, toasters. Okay, like this way they are using. Then tungsten is used, see, try to understand dear students, tungsten is used exclusively for the filaments of electric bulbs. So sometimes asking the question, for the filaments of electric bulbs, what will be used? So you have to say that tungsten is used for the filaments of electric bulbs, whereas copper and aluminum, see, copper and aluminum is used generally for electrical transmission. Electrical transmission means what we are saying, the sending, electrical transporting or electrical transmission lines. Okay, so these are the general uses of copper and aluminum and as well as tungstens. And here actually electrical resistivity, one chart is given to you in the textbook, but you need not to memorize this one. So that these values you need not to memorize. If it is asked, the chart will be given to you. So why resistivity is less and resistivity is more? You know that insulator, the resistivity will be more. Behaves like a, that's why current will not pass through it. They are poor conductors. And alloys also resistivity will be more. But here silver, copper, aluminum resistivity will be less. So that's why they are so good conductors. Okay, dear students. So these are all of today's topic. It is factors on which the resistance of a conductor depends. Okay, so this all go through it, and in the next video you will learn resistance of a system of resistors. That means resistors in the series and resistors in the parallel. Okay, dear students, thank you. Bye bye. Thank you for joining us.